Hi there! Today we're going to talk about books as a way of self-development and a kickstarter of the conversation with the people that you work with, and for example have to have a small talk during your Skype call or Google Hangouts call, whatever. When interviewing people, I'm always curious what they are reading, what they would like to suggest other people to read, especially young people. And I like the list of the recommended books by Steve Jobs or other famous people because it always gives you, a perspective on what is trendy and what's successful and famous people using in order to develop themselves and enhance their professional skills in this or that field. And on the other hand, it provides you with the question or a starting point for any conversation. For example, when you're starting a small talk with your client or a colleague from the other country, and he or she asks, how was your weekend? What were you doing during the weekend? So this is quite a normal and typical question for a small talk. And you can say, well, my weekend was great, I had a rest, and then I started reading a fascinating book. For example, Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. So this is a must-read book for those who would like to enhance their networking skills and find out more how to meet people and how to expand the list of your potential contacts. I have read this book. Moreover, Keith Ferrazzi was one of the speakers during the conference All Around Forum 1, and he provided us with the information on how to expand the list of contacts, but also how to build a strong team and how to be helpful to other people so that you can serve them and have mutual benefits from communication. You can watch this video right here and share your experience about networking and how the book, for example, helped you to meet new people. So at first we asked Alex Buchkovsky, a young software engineer from Kyiv, what to read, and here's the list of his suggested literature that helped him grow.
There are two books that comes into my mind first when I think about what to recommend to people. First book is Everything is Negotiable. It's written by Ken Kennedy, I think. I'm not sure, but okay, Everything is Negotiable. You'll find it. And the second book is Don't Shoot at a Dog. It's a book about making habits, and it's changed my mind. I mean, it's changed the way I see things, see interactions with people, see how my habits are formed, and it helps to, it describes a very basic level that you can use in daily life in everything. And yeah, those two books, I believe, will improve life of anybody significantly.
And then we had an interview with Pavlo Sheremeta, a famous economist, and we asked him what he recommends young people to read. And this is the list of his suggested literature, and he started with the Red and Blue Ocean and the whole concept connected to that. Let's watch it.
I buy the books. I like to buy the books, the very day they appear, because usually, they get advertised in Financial Times or New York Times that I read almost religiously, meaning day to day, and that's how I get the most recent news, including the most recent news about the books. So, and it's usually kind of advanced advertisement or advanced opinion or survey about the book, which usually appears maybe 3 days before the book appears. So the day the book appears, I buy it, I download it on my Kindle, I read it there. And obviously as I read it, I even, I don't mind, the notes that I make, that I highlight, I make them public. So basically, don't read the books that I read, just read my notes or my highlights. That's what I do, sometimes. So basics, I already mentioned Blue Ocean, Blue Ocean Strategy, Blue Ocean Shift. These are two books, but read one of them. Absolutely classics. If you want to have the kind of strategic thinking is The Art of War, Sun Tzu. It's translated into Ukrainian, good Ukrainian. My friend Serhiy Lesniak, who speaks not just Chinese, he speaks and he understands ancient Chinese, because this book is written some 3,000 years ago or something. So he translated that into Ukrainian directly, not from English, not from Russian, from ancient Chinese into Ukrainian. And probably the third one, let me give you the kind of the new one, kind of advanced, but it's advanced enough, you know, it's not too advanced. And I read it this winter, this year. It's called 12 Rules for Life. Jordan Peterson, very interesting professor of psychology in I think Toronto University in Canada, gives sound, scientifically proven advice, the best way of living. And he is mega cool and popular now. You can see his videos and podcasts and everything, YouTube and all the rest. So 12 Rules for Life, Jordan Peterson.
Reading is one of the small steps that you can undertake on a daily basis in order to grow both personally and professionally. So don't forget to make those steps, and remember that they lead in the end to a big difference. If this video was useful for you, please share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel if you still haven't done that. See you around!